Okay, here we are. Welcome to the SBG workshop. This is where most of my builds take place. It's not the most beautiful place by any means, but it is functional and it gets the job done. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the Team Raffi AsiaTees Boom Racing D110 Defender. We're going to do the pickup today. Much thanks to Boom Racing and AsiaTees for sending me this body. Really, today what we're going to do is mostly like an inventory of what's in the box, and I'm going to cut some pieces off the sprues and see how they all fit together. Let me say straight off the bat, this is easily the most detailed hard body I've seen in a very long time. You get a ton of amazing pieces, you get a ton of amazing detail, and the price point isn't terrible. I mean, for what you're getting, honestly, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Very happy, very satisfied. It really is that good. And I think that, you know, like, I'm not mincing words here. It's easily the best looking hard body I've seen ever. You know, I mean, Tamiya in the early days, they did some pretty spectacular stuff. And I mean, they're old standards, right? You've got the Hilux, you've got the Tundra. What else? F350. They've sort of set the benchmark. Team Raffi, they've set a new standard, and if this D110 is sort of like the benchmark for what they're going to be delivering from now on, just imagine what they do with that LC70 that's coming out. I think that one's going to be sort of the one that's going to blow people away, and I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm a Toyota guy through and through, so. When that comes out, expect us to do the same sort of thing here. So anyway, okay, let's get to it. So here we go. Here is the box. Oh, you can see the tip of it right there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me flip the camera around here. So, oh boy, look at that. There is a lot going on in here. Obviously, it doesn't come shipped like this. That's ridiculous. So this is the main body. You can see that when they mold it, they take a lot of care in making sure that there's all these pieces to make sure that it all stays together. Okay, what else have we got? Well, we've got a roof piece here. Nice and glossy finish. The mold casting is really clean. There's a little tiny bit of flash in between some of these areas here. You probably can't see that very well. Without me refocusing the lens, but truth be told, it's pretty minor. I don't think you're going to have much issue there or unhappiness. Most of the flash is really honestly in the pieces where you're taking them off anyway. Well, first weird thing I noticed straight off the bat is these dimples along this edge on the roof line. I guess maybe it's probably a newer model Defender that they're sort of going for here. On the main body, this is interesting. I think, this is my guess, that because you know they offer the pickup version, and they also offer the full, they call it a station wagon, but I'd say like a full cab D110, which would, you know, just go along here. Notice right here, they've got the mold for the rear windows built into this hood assembly. So my guess is that to build the station wagon, I have the instructions printed out. I haven't looked at them yet. This is probably just a different piece. You know, this extends out to like this way. You know, obviously this isn't the right one, but you get what I'm getting at. That they just change out one piece to make two different bodies. That's pretty smart. You can see there's some details here, and I'll get some close-ups of this stuff later, and probably fill it in right here. So what you're seeing is some nice mold detail on these the door hinges. You can see that they did their homework, and there's a cutout for the way that the gas filler cap is recessed in the body, which how it is on the real thing. I like that they've done rivets here for the fenders, so that way you can I might even not run it with the fenders. That might be a kind of a cool kind of look. So I'm sure a dozen of you have already rolled your eyes and said, that's what I'm doing. So, I mean, go ahead and do that. That's cool. It's your truck. You do what you want with it. They've got the pickup bed figured out. And there's obviously there's a door there. I think it hinges one way. I don't remember. All these lights look a little more appropriate in terms of the sizing. If I'm comparing this to another well-known brand of Defender body. Let's pull out some more pieces here. Well, we've got a hood. Glass. Well, plastic glass, if you will. Nice and clear. It's not, because it's bagged, obviously it's in pretty good condition. This is the front windshield assembly and the trunk door, or what would you call that? Boot? No, boot's the front. Bonnet? No, bonnet is the rear. Boot, it's the boot door. Everything's kept separate, so there's no rubbing up against each other, which is a nice touch for a box this big with this many pieces. It's nice to know that they've taken care like that. It's nice to see this piece is molded in the body color like it should be. See, I gotta trim some flash if we're gonna do this for realsies. The windshield goes in underneath the top of the roof, so it all kind of like, cements itself in there once I glue it in, but you get the gist. Some clear stuff for the signals, headlights, brake lights, 2 wipers. Oh, thank goodness. Imagine that, a radiator inside this piece. That's phenomenal. Let's trim that off and stick it on real quick. There's that piece on there. I always like having a radiator, or like fabricating my own little radiator, because I think it adds another level of realism. That's pretty cool. Now obviously you can't really see anything because of the way that the light is, and there's no depth because there's no paint on it, but imagine that you'll be able to see quite well in there, and having that radiator detail is pretty cool. Digging it a lot. We've also got the headlight surrounds and what looks to be running boards. Got the mirrors there, nicely detailed, and also the vents. For the mirrors there, I might put some clear Lexan over that just to knock it back a bit. We've got the headlight inserts. Doors, very handy. You should have 4 of them. Great mold detail, nice and shiny. You're like, wait a second, there should be something in there. Well, not to worry. I'm not sure if you knew this or if it had been mentioned to you before, but this body kit is a full floor interior. So obviously you've got to have all the proper interior pieces. That's the back of the boot door, and looks like that's a spare tire holder maybe, and a license plate, which is North American specific, not Japanese or European, so your mileage may vary. There is the dashboard, all the pedals, all the shifter. Look at the stalks on the steering wheel thing there. It's impressive mold work there. All the gauges and dials are molded in to the dash. This is a more modern looking dash than some of the older Defender model kits that we've seen. There's a lot of detail there, and Jesus handle. Everyone needs one of those. Instead of hard plastic, you're looking at soft molded rubber. These look really, really good. There's even like the contour of like a map pocket on the back, which is pretty cool. Super smart. They built in a little like stopper here, so it can't go beyond that limit. Once it's all mounted and screwed together, that's where it sits, and that's pretty slick. Back seats, all one piece, but great detail there. There's even like little seat belt indentations there. You can see them there. I'm really like, again, that's honestly, who puts the time and effort into doing all this work? Like even the seatbelt attachment there, like, come on, seriously? Fenders, Yep, that's a fender. Screwdriver. Wow, that's nice. I don't like Phillips head screws. Everyone needs to do away with those. It's not 1990 anymore. Okay, the piece of resistance. Look at that interior shell. So that's your floor, flat floor, and I mean, there's a ton of room down here transmission-wise. They probably expect you to run this body on the existing D110 from RC 4-wheel drive. Looks great. Definitely warrants me taking a lot of time putting it together. I think that it's going to be one of my new favorites. There's something very, very cool and very worldly about a Defender. I've had a double cab Defender before, built by a very good friend of mine, and probably one of my favorite trucks. The point I'm making is sometimes you have to pay for really good quality, and I mean there's a few different ways of looking at it. It's almost like you're paying for a lesson in scratch building when you take a look at something like this. And now obviously scratch building is a different technique than molding and cast molding and all those things, but this gives you a great insight into how far you can take something. And I mean, it's my goal to take every build I do to the next level. So if that means starting here, then I don't think you can start anywhere better. I should totally mention the great news. This is super spectacular. I can't believe I waited until the very end, and what, viewers out there that are watching all the way to the end, thank you. You are in on a special treat. AsiaTees has provided an entire body kit specifically for a giveaway. SBG, generally we do our giveaways for only our supporting VIP and vendor level members. And I mean, it's part of the reason that we have those levels is to be able to give something back to our subscribers. And that's one of the ways in which we thank them for being members and contributing to the community is by giving back all those things. In this case, though, I'm feeling particularly generous. As long as you're a registered member, reply to the thread, and you're essentially entered. But what I want you to do is I want you to post a picture of your favorite Defender. It can be a 90, it can be a 110, it can be a 109, it can be any variant of Defender that you want. But I want you to post a picture, say thank you SBG and thank you AsiaTees. That's really the only set of rules I've got. You got to be a registered member. You've got to post a thank you in the thread to the Scale Builders Guild and to AsiaTees. And you got to post a picture of a Defender. Someone is going to walk away with a brand new body. It is the double cab pickup unit, so I mean, if you don't like free stuff and you don't like double cabs, then maybe this isn't the thing for you. But for those of you who are interested in one, 100% free, shipped to your door. So if you're not a member already, join the forum today, and we'll be doing this giveaway in the next couple weeks. So start posting now. Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll see you again.